Hello everyone, Desert Gardener here, and today we're talking birds. So I've talked about birds a few times before, so I'm not going to go into that too deeply, but just to quickly recap, I've recommended many times to put a bird bath in or near your garden. The reason for that is if birds have fresh water to drink, they're less likely to peck at your tomatoes and apricots and stuff, because they don't do that because they're hungry. They do it because they're thirsty. So give them a nice clean water source, and they'll most likely leave your fruits and vegetables alone. However, I've always recommended putting a little solar fountain in your bird bath. This keeps the water moving, and it's less likely it's going to build up algae and stuff like that. However, those fountains, I talked before how they really don't last very long. They have a tendency to die after just a month or two. So I got tired of purchasing new ones, and when the last one died, I just threw it away and stopped using them. Problem is, when the water just sits, it builds up algae pretty quickly. So I started thinking, well, maybe I should put some sort of chemical to get rid of algae in the bird bath. Problem is, even though there's a lot of those chemicals on the market, they're not safe for birds. They're good for fountains and things like that, but not bird baths. So I started looking into it. What is safe for birds and will keep algae away? Turns out it's pretty simple. It's just a little bit of vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar or white vinegar like this here, and it doesn't take very much, just a teaspoon per gallon. Now there's probably about 2 gallons here, so I'm going to put just a couple of teaspoons in here. It doesn't have to be exact, so I'm not going to bother measuring it. And that should be enough to keep it fresh for a couple of weeks. Now you'll get a little bit of algae here and there. That's normal, but it really goes a long way for keeping the algae down, keeping it fresh, and the birds will really appreciate it. Now, I've also heard that copper works pretty well also. Although I haven't tested that one, it's supposed to work. Like you can put 6 or 7 pennies in there, but they have to be really old pennies, ones that were minted before, I think it's 1982, when they still were made out of copper, or the really old ones from like the wheatback pennies, those I think are all copper, but the newer ones aren't going to work. But why bother with that when vinegar seems to work pretty well? Another good thing that I've figured out is rocks. If you put some rocks in there, the birds really seem to like to sit on them and bathe. So put a few rocks in there, put a little vinegar in there, and it'll work great. All right, well, this is a short, quick one. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, all I ask is you hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.